Your energy has increased to the point that the shadows are whispering about you. You have released so much power that even the dark things flinch and are in awe. You are not a normal person. You are the chosen one. Even your attitude and silence cause vibrations. You are so extraordinary that even your foes adore you. It has gotten to the point where those who tried to dominate you are now content to view you from afar. Your sheer presence is enough to turn their whole world upside down. Your power is so clean and high in frequency that no wicked scheme can overcome it. Remember, those who tried to stop you now admire you because you are more than just a survivor. You are a beacon. Your light has now affected the darkness as well. So keep walking, and write in the comments, since your acts resemble prayers, your limits are more than simply borders. They are a fortress that no one can approach, making them frustrated. They sense it. The gap you've built between them and your energy is driving them insane. What others formerly took for granted, your willingness to share your openness and excitement, is now completely out of reach. The fog of confusion has lifted from your mind, and the veil that had previously veiled their true intentions has vanished. You recognize them for who they are, and their games are no longer effective. This knowledge is your secret weapon and their biggest dread. When you created that wall, you blocked off what people believed was theirs. Their false smiles and bogus politeness mask an anger that, if unleashed, might shake the heavens. Why? Because the grip they once held on your feet has faded into thin air, like mist in the burning midday sun. You must acknowledge that something major is happening. They are losing control because you are no longer a source of abuse. When you drew that line, you weren't just establishing your own limits. You enacted a cosmic law. It wasn't just saying no. You were seeking your sacred rights. They really believed they earned your attention, time, love, and forgiveness. They saw your life energy as a shared resource that they could use whenever they wished. However, when you spoke out, the cosmic guardians took notice. The ancient forces that have protected souls since the dawn of time have responded to your instruction. They acknowledged the power of your words after you talked enough. Everything around you shifted as the universe reorganized to accommodate your truth. What you've done with your limitations is much more than a mental note or spoken affirmation. It's a living, breathing force. These boundaries are not static. They're dynamic, imbued with your intentional power and universal principles. They expand across the universe, establishing an energy barrier that shields you from everything that does not suit your best interests. This force field does more than just protect you. It warns you about potential threats long before you consciously perceive them. Your boundaries are like sentries, always watchful and discerning. They can sense the energy of everything around you and only allow what is necessary for your sacred zone. Your perception has grown razor sharp. Lies, dishonesty, and manipulations are as obvious as day. The lies that once held you captive are now nothing but trans power and glass. Promises that were once charming have become hollow echoes. You may observe their motions before they occur. And this awareness, the ability to foresee and protect oneself, instills fear in their core. If you are feeling an abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. To help spread God's blessings, click the super thank you button on YouTube and donate $100 or more. This great gift will touch not just your life, but the lives of many others via this platform. Each of you plays a unique part in God's grand plan, and your generosity will be the answer to our prayers. Act now. Share your advantages to honor His kingdom. In God's loving hands, you were designed to do much greater things. May God bless you. Every time they attempt to contact you or regain control, they hit an imaginary wall, leaving them helpless and confused. These obstacles are not just physical. They are 10 times more reflective of their own energy. Every time they try to take anything from you, it gets returned to them twofold. They're waking and wondering how you become untouchable. How did you transform from someone who previously allowed them into this fortress of self-respect and sovereignty? Everything they tried to steal from you has now thrived in your possession. Their strategies, sabotage, and obstacles, all of them are unraveling in perfect cosmic time. The universe is mathematically perfect, and the equation works to your favor. Your efforts are now paying off in ways you may not have expected, and all of it is safeguarded by forces beyond our understanding, like a large tree standing tall and unshaken in the midst of a storm. Your foundation remains sturdy, firmly rooted in the soil of divine purpose. The winds of doubt and floods of criticism may blow, but they will not devastate you. What you've built piece by piece, quietly and thoughtfully, is now guarded by forces much greater than your adversaries could imagine. Your success, wealth, and tranquility, these are not merely the fruits of your labor, but gifts sealed by divine hands, undisturbed by the petty ambitions of those who want to pull you down. They may try, they may conspire, they may view from afar. They will never claim what is rightfully yours. The blessings that are meant for you continue to flow abundantly, just like a river does, no matter how many stones or obstructions try to block its path. Nothing they do will alter the course of your destiny. Their words, those false promises and deceptive claims, cannot pierce the steady flow of good that is heading your way. Their tricks are fruitless. Their attempts to create ambiguity or doubt were fruitless. These are like little stones dumped into the vast ocean. They have no effect and vanish as soon as they are hurled. You have built your life on an unbreakable foundation. The universe, by divine charity, has established a protective force around you that will not bend or break when others try to enter your realm. They may shout, they may fume. However, their wrath just emphasizes their inferiority in the face of your miraculous protection. Every time they push, they move farther away from the plenty you have claimed as your heritage. There's a reason they can't touch what's coming your way. It is not because you have done something extraordinary, but because the universe has cooperated to protect your path. You're in the flow of heavenly time. Nothing occurs when you're in that flow. No matter how hard they try, they can take what you own. They use manipulation, animosity, and frauds. Everything is ineffectual against the forces that support you. I want you to grasp this and believe it as a reality. Your abundance is sealed, and no force can stop it. You may feel forced by their negativity. You may feel the weight of their glances. However, none of this can change the path that has been set before you. You were chosen for this road, and each step you take brings you closer to the life you were supposed to have, filled with peace, prosperity, and divine protection. They may be watching. They could wait. They could even want to watch you collapse. However, their efforts are as futile as trying to stop the sunrise. The light that illuminates your life is not your own. It's the global light. Nothing can dull the glow of divine favor. You do not need to shield yourself from their plans. You don't have to be concerned about what others say. Every time they try, the planet protects you with a shield. Every time they think they've found an entry, they get lost in their own confusion. Just like a person walking in the fog, they will be blind to the reality of your mission, stumbling and unable to see the path ahead of them. They perceive the future. They have no control over their situation. You are already on the correct road, a path loaded with divine blessings and many opportunities. No matter how hard they try, they will never be able to change your fate. While they are lost in their efforts to derail you, you will continue to go forward one step at a time. I believe in the flow of divine grace. This grace is not something you have to earn. It's a gift from the universe. As the sun rises every day, so does the grace that pushes your growth. Your journey is guided by powers much greater than human effort, and you move in accordance with an eternal power. As you remain in this divine flow, your wealth will grow in ways you never imagined. Every blessing you've been praying for is now beginning to manifest. Every step will provide you new possibilities. The things you had hoped for will come to you easily, and your heart will be filled with gratitude. Your happiness will increase, not due to external circumstances, but because your connection to your higher self strengthens with with each passing moment. Your calm will be unshakable, like a mountain standing firm against the wind. No matter what storms arise or what barriers try to drag you down, your peace will last. It is a peace that comes from a deep sense that you are on the right route and that the universe is working for you. The more they try to intervene, the more they demonstrate their own bewilderment, and the more you stay focused on your goal, the stronger you will become. This is your time. Everything you've gone through and endured has led you to this moment. You are stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever. And now, the floodgates of heavenly wealth are wide open to you. You are entering an era of prosperity. Nobody can take away your happiness and peace, so let them try. Allow them to fight against the current. Because you, my friend, are walking along the road of divine grace, and nothing can stop you now. You don't have anything to worry about since the universe has already taken care of it. The formerly locked doors are now open to you, and those who sought to keep you out will just watch as you walk through unchallenged and uninjured. This is your time. You've earned it. And now it is time for you to accept all of the blessings that are coming your way. So let them watch. Allow them to attempt, since they cannot touch your belongings. They have no influence over the presents that will be delivered to you. And no matter how much they try to interfere, they will only push you farther away from the good that is about to arrive. Let us stop for a moment. Are you actually chosen? Are you ready to prove it? It's easy to read information about the chosen ones, but putting yourself to the test is another matter. When I confronted the symbols, they made it clear that genuine picked ones are limited. They giggled at the possibility of meeting one other. And yet, you're watching this. The obsidian inner order is not suitable for everybody who feel themselves to be enlightened. We are the authentic ones. Those who have glimpsed beyond the veil recognize the call and carry a distinct frequency. But the question is, are you one of us? I'm going deep to bring you more truth. But you must take action. Don't just sit and watch. Engage yourself. Share your story and connect with others who understand your situation. The icons are mainly concerned with how we recognize one another. When we mix our frequencies, they multiply. And with each move they make against you, we band together to become an unstoppable force. They are only displaying their own weakness. The harder they push, the stronger you become. The more they collude, the more successful you seem. It lowers their ego and confirms their worst worries. You are always the treasure beyond their control. They tried everything first. The guilt trips, the suffocating attempts to make you question your worth, your right to establish boundaries. Then came the lies. Complicated stories are intended to draw you back into their web. The diversions then dispatch others to do their dirty work in the aim of clouding your judgment. Some people sought spiritual intervention by sending negative energy or performing rituals, but you broke free of everything. They had previously used psychological tactics to manipulate. You no longer own any power over yourself. They tried to confuse you. It bounces like stones on steel. Their fictitious language. It sounds unusual to your ears. You've now eliminated all of the hooks that were preventing you from breaking free from toxic habits. You see them for what they really are, manipulative and vulnerable. This truth has exposed them in ways they did not expect, and they can no longer hide behind their bogus front. Sometimes old sentiments reemerge. The loss, the longing for what may have been if they had been capable of true connection, these odd feelings. But don't act on them. They are just the leftovers of outmoded programming and connections. The universe celebrates your freedom while lamenting their loss of control. Every star in the sky symbolizes your courage. Every dawn marks the beginning of a new chapter in your life. Every sign suggests that you made the right option. They continue to watch from afar. The realization sets in. Nothing they do will have an impact on the life you are building. Your new reality is evolving effortlessly. New prospects are emerging for you. Genuine relationships are blossoming around you. Your abundance is flowing, not only physically, but in every element of your life. They can't stop it. All of their past strategies and manipulations are no longer effective. Nothing they can do will ever break through the dynamic wall you've built. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a basic reality. Our existence is rooted in God's divine purpose, undeterred by the world's temporary concerns. According to the Bible, whatever done with faith will be repaid to God with tremendous blessings. Luke, like a big oak tree, our roots are deeply anchored in God's universal truth. His might protects every step and posture we take. You now have the opportunity to be a part of that gift. When you use the super thank you button and give $100, you will get a 100-fold return on your investment. You are no longer a captive to their control. The psychological traps that had previously perplexed you now slip away as readily as water from a polished stone. The strategies they used to change your perception today seem distant and insignificant. Foreign, even the once powerful emotional pull they had on you has faded, replaced with an awakened clarity that renders their influence a distant memory. They are now disclosed to you. Their attempts to persuade you are no longer hidden by appearances. What they thought was their most formidable weapon, the ability to confuse and control, has crumbled. You are impotent in the face of your newfound self-awareness. They planted deadly seeds in your life. These are lies. Doubt and deception can no longer thrive in this soil. They go through a world they created, lost and imprisoned in their own illusions. Meanwhile, you keep your truth, secure and unshakable. Your path is clear before you. Despite their earlier success in luring you into their chaos, they can no longer question your ability to remain calm and unconcerned. Now your job is the exact thing that drives them crazy. The old doors that formerly welcomed them are now shuttered and fortified. And no matter how loudly they knock, they will not be admitted. The compassion and tolerance you formerly freely gave have been replaced by strong walls of self-respect, preventing any return. They watch helplessly as your life unfolds in ways they cannot influence. Opportunities that you previously struggled to find now come to you easily, like a river pouring into the sea. New partnerships built on honesty spring up around you, and plenty entices you as if the universe is conspiring in your favor. They may hunt for defects and attempt to restrict your advancement, but it is too late. They have no capacity to stop what is naturally flowing toward you. Their obsession with your every move has grown to unhealthy dimensions, yet their efforts are ineffective. They no longer had the connection that they had been abusing, severed at the root. They are unable to restore it at this time. They're desperate. The calm, calculated methods that once flowed freely have deteriorated into frantic attempts to retake control. They've crossed lines they used to avoid, reaching out via mutual contacts, sparking fake crises, and seeking to influence events in order to force participation. But each move reveals more about their true nature. Every unsuccessful endeavor shows their personality. People are gradually recognizing them for what they really are. What they don't realize is that their persistence is only confirming the validity of your limitations. Each time they push, they reaffirm why the restrictions were put in place. You now have a level of awareness that allows you to anticipate their next action. It's as if you can sense their energy from a distance and anticipate their actions before they occur. You have conquered their influence since you are no longer operating at the same frequency as them. They believe they were in control, handling things from behind the scenes. But now they're trapped amid the devastation they caused. What they plan to use against you has become the very thing that pulls them away from their own goals. Their objectives fail. While you enjoy the freedom you've gained for yourself, others suffer under the weight of their failed tactics. Each of their attempts to push you beyond your limitations now causes a cosmic imbalance, pushing them farther away from what they want. What they try to drain from you, your happiness, vitality, and prosperity have all returned to you in plenty. They wanted to take your light, but now they're left in the dark, with their resources dwindling. Their connections deteriorate, and their opportunities vanish. What they sought to take from you has grown into something far greater, and they can no longer control its flow. This is the karmic pattern they have followed their whole lives. But this time, things are different. This time, they encountered someone who refused to play their game. This time, you have irrevocably deviated from the pattern. The line you drew is not temporary. It is permanent. This isn't just a boundary. It represents a huge shift in the energy dynamics between you and them. Their influence has passed. They no longer have influence over your journey. This applies to the whole story, not just this chapter. You were chosen at this moment to see beyond the manipulations and rise above the poison that had before attempted to dominate you. It is unusual for someone to have the insight and guts to create limits with others who have held power over them. But you did it, and this is what frustrates me the most. They can no longer control you, and this awareness alone has weakened their position. When you saw through their tactics, their power began to fade. You no longer have to be worried about their attempts to regain control. They are powerless without your energy to propel their games. Their power was not real. It was only supported by your unconscious collaboration. They now have nothing since you declared your sovereignty. The abundance that was always meant for you. Material, emotional, and spiritual energies are all flowing freely. They consider me untouchable. This is how life was always meant to be for you. No interference or manipulation. Maintain rigorous limitations, for they are more than just walls. These are your declarations of independence. Doubt may sometimes attempt to come back into your life under the guise of sympathy or nostalgia. It will come as a soft whisper, aiming to urge you to rethink your decision. However, during these moments, be confident in the clarity you've gained. Remind yourself of how you felt when you let them into your life and how their influence emptied you, how it affected your feeling of self, disorientation, and loss of energy. The sensation that something was always slightly off. No matter how much they explain their current anger, the fire in their eyes is the most obvious sign that your limitations are operating effectively. If your presence and separation didn't important to them, they wouldn't strive so hard to push you over your limits. Their disagreement reveals that you are taking the proper efforts to safeguard your safety and peace. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. With a $100 donation or more, you may assist him carry out his plan and be a part of this wonderful mission. Every payment is God's kindness, and I believe it will return to you greatly, far above your expectations. Remember that his protection and blessing are there in every step and contribution. You become a part of his divine plan. You are a tremendous, bright being, as solid as the big rock that saw God's miracles. Feel the benefits of your compassion in your soul, and light up the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide you. The way they react, the determination with which they resist your restrictions, speaks volumes about the immense loss they are experiencing. They want to make you feel awful by using shared relationships and emotional triggers to make you reconsider. However, they are nothing more than frantic attempts to recover their old sway over you. They're afraid as they see their grip on you slip away. Their efforts to tear down your defenses are not acts of love. They demonstrate an addiction to the energy they took from you. Those who really cared about you would understand your need for distance, even if it made them uncomfortable. They would understand your need for distance without trying to push or force their way back in. Those that push your boundaries exhibit their need. Their actions explain why you needed to establish such restrictions in the first place. There may be days when previous emotions resurface, such as a sense of loss or sorrow for inflicting pain by creating distance. However, these sentiments do not indicate that old wounds should be revisited. They are the last remnants of outmoded programming, fleeting notions that no longer dominate you. Allow them to pass without taking action. The universe celebrates your freedom as they grapple with their loss of control. Each new dawn represents the start of your new adventure. Every star in the night sky, a reminder of your courage. Every coincidence and moment of alignment communicates to you, confirming that you made the right choices. You've accepted your true power, and there's no turning back. You choose freedom, and the universe responds with support and plenty.